Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this. Once again, XRP surpassed USDT in market cap. It became the number 3 cryptocurrency. But I'm waiting until XRP flips Ethereum. I want to see that happen. Because if there's utility already driving the price of XRP, I know it's going to go on and flip Bitcoin's market cap as well, becoming the number 1 cryptocurrency. There's a very good chance of that happening in this run. First Ledger says, when XRP rallies 81,500%, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs. So First Ledger is a decentralized exchange on the XRP ledger. And they're talking about an XRP price surge up to $2,000. Based on the $2.45 price that XRP is at right now. Now, here's my thoughts on that. I want to see that happen. I would love to see that happen. But I think it's still going to take some adoption and utility to get us to that price point. The good thing is, it looks like utility and adoption is going to begin in 2025. Those ETFs, the money flow is going to be insane. The amount of money that's going to be flowing into XRP, it's going to be something that we have never seen before. And definitely don't tell anyone once you get rich off of your crypto. Keep it to yourself. Don't make yourself a target. I've talked about that in previous videos as well. Look at all the crazy things that are happening to crypto investors all of a sudden. Ever wonder how much money it takes to cause a 16.6 billion increase in XRP market cap? Since I am tracking every trade on all major spot exchanges, I have the exact dollar figure. 61 million US dollars. That's the net market buying pressure we saw over the last 13 hours. So yes, 61 million US dollars of buy pressure caused a $16.6 billion increase in market cap. There's your daily lesson that market cap is irrelevant. All that matters is liquidity. And I covered that as well, because anytime you say XRP is going to 3 digits in this run, right away people point at market cap and previous cycles. But you don't need XRP to gain that amount of money. Even smaller amounts of money move XRP in a very big way. Now think of the liquidity from the institutional adoption. Think of all that money flow. Now you could see a 3-digit XRP, maybe even higher. XRP outperforms Bitcoin and Ethereum in South Korea. South Korea just absolutely loves XRP. And this is the daily volume on Upbit. $3.59 billion. And you see it. They're telling you it outperformed both Bitcoin and ETH. I expect that to continue to happen as well. I think this run is going to be something different than every previous run. Right now, the Bitcoin maxis, they think this run is just a normal run. They're calling for a $200,000 Bitcoin. I still think 150 maybe is the top. I don't even think it's going to break above 120K. If it happens, great, because then we go higher on XRP as well. But so far, This cycle's been so different. People are now expecting institutional adoption, they're expecting utility, and so on. And that's going to be game changing for a handful of cryptocurrencies. If we get regulations during this run, that's going to change everything, in my opinion. Ripple, 2 key reasons why XRP could be worth your attention now. Now, the first thing they're talking about is XRP breaking above the $2.50 ceiling, which it has already done. The other thing they're talking about is the tide shifting. They're talking more like XRP is going to replace Ethereum, and it's going to go on to lead us into alt season. And I've talked about that in previous videos as well. There's a lot more momentum for XRP than there is for Ethereum. But now there's a lot of people talking about Ethereum again. And I think it's because they realize that it looks like Bitcoin's dominance is now topped out. Now maybe the money will start to flow into Ethereum. I wouldn't count Ethereum out quite yet, is what I'm saying. But I do still believe XRP will flip Ethereum in this run. Lock in. This is the big one. This is your chance to make wealth. It will level the playing field. Take a listen to Raw Paul here.
This is the big one. This is your chance to make wealth. And not only can you make a bit of wealth, it's the fastest appreciating asset class in all of human history. So you can catch up really fast. So you just have to get involved and start that journey, but it will level the playing field for millions of people. So my view is it goes from a $3 trillion asset class today to $100 trillion in 10 years' time. So we're only 3% of the way there. And if you put it in different terms, that means there is $97 trillion of wealth that's going to get made.
Yeah.
People are going to make a lot of money, but it's not a few people. It's not like the tech barons or the bankers. This is like, well, Binance has 260 million customers. Now, you could lift 260 million people to change their lives. Okay, that's a big deal. There's 500 million crypto accounts around the world, so you can change 500 million lives. And if you speak to CZ or you speak to the others, they'll say, we want to have 1 billion people, 2 billion people. Well, if you can change 2 billion people's lives, that's a quarter of the world. So it's a very, very big deal. And also it's a big deal because people are getting access to dollars. So the stablecoin thing, I asked CZ about this. I'm like, well, what about stablecoins? He said, I didn't see how big they were going to be. He didn't realize, and most of us didn't realize, how desperate people are to own US dollars.
Yeah.
And so before, to get access to dollars, you had to have access to a big bank and or you could get a small amount of dollars. But normal people couldn't save in it. And somebody in Southeast Asia, they couldn't get access to dollars. And now suddenly they can get it on their Binance app immediately and send it to somebody else, US dollars. That's an incredible change for people. So
now think about RLUSD getting into the hands of people all around the world. And that's why I think RLUSD has a very good chance of becoming the digital dollar. But maybe it's multiple digital dollars. Maybe it's RLUSD, USDC. Maybe it's a new dollar or a new stablecoin that is created as well. We really don't know yet. We're still too early on that. But $97 trillion of wealth is going to pour into this space. And you're early to that. And you're not too late yet. You could still buy XRP for under $3. But that window is going to close. Then you're going to be able to buy it under $4 still for a period of time. Then all of a sudden, $4 is going to be gone. Then $10, then $20, then $100. Every window is going to close along the way. That's why you position yourself now. I kept telling you, this is a life-changing event that's happening. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You beat the institutions here. Once the institutions get here, these price points are going to be gone. And when he said level the playing field, it is leveling the playing field. It's giving people access to the financial system that never had access in the past. And that is game-changing as well. The rise of the new financial system is already happening. You're seeing it happen in real time. And that's why now is the time you position yourself. You don't say, oh, I think I'm going to have more time to accumulate XRP. I see these people saying, don't buy now. Wait until it dips back under $1. I think under $1's gone. I honestly think under $2 is gone. So if you continue to wait, under $3 will be eventually gone as well. Finally, somebody post a post talking about XRP and XLM working together instead of it being XRP versus XLM. This comes from Pumpius. You think XRP and XLM are competitors. What if they're two sides of the same coin in a controlled financial war? What if the real game isn't XRP versus XLM, but centralized controls versus decentralized freedom? If you look at it like this, it was always XLM is the people's money. XRP is the banker's coin. But even Ripple's latest attempt to acquire Circle shows you that they're positioned with XLM more than you think. Ripple and Stellar, they work together. Remember Brad walking around with the Stellar thing on his neck like a couple months back at that one event? They're all talking behind the scenes. And if you look at it in the right way, XLM opens up doors XRP can't open. XRP opens doors XLM can't open. But if you diversify and you hold both of these cryptocurrencies, you're even better positioned. And they're both positioned with the IMF, the BIS, the World Bank. They've been mentioned multiple times in the same sentences by the same people because they were both chosen as part of the future. And XLM, right now, you look at it and people, I see a lot of people on X even saying, XLM in this run is not going to break 2 digits. You don't know that. If XRP is going to 3 digits, there's a good chance XLM is going to hit 2 digits in this run. And even if you look longer term, XLM is going to be a 3-digit asset. There's a good chance it'll be a 4-digit asset because it's already chosen to be a high-valued asset to move money from point A to point B. XLM is also tied in with central bank digital currencies. Tokenization is happening on Stellar as well. I would not count XLM out in any way, is what I'm telling you. I love XRP, but I also love XLM. And I'm the first person to diversify across these utility-driven cryptocurrencies. When people were saying it's this crypto versus that crypto, I was saying, listen, hold both of them. Hold this one also, because this way you're holding all the cryptocurrencies that are tied to all the money. It's only a handful of cryptocurrencies that will survive regulations. It's only a handful of cryptocurrencies that are going to rule the entire world when it comes to moving money. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.